Hello there. Welcome back. I had an idea. Check it out. Here I am. I'm back. And I have a whiteboard. Today, I'm going to talk about optimism, pessimism, and realism, right? Many differences, right? All very different from each other. There's like some similarities that kind of, this thing is this, and then this one's the other way. Obviously, if you're not going left, you're going to go right, right? Or straight, I guess. But anyway, let's just get right on into the video. So I had it listed as optimism, pessimism, realism, I think. So first thing, optimism. What even is it? If I have to tell you, it is a positive outlook on your life. Let's pull out the whiteboard. It's suddenly different. Many pros, few cons, kind of just how it is. Nothing's perfect. Let's see what the board actually says. Longevity. If you're a happier person, if you're more positive, more kind, signs and whatever, what do you call them? Studies show that an optimist will live longer than someone who is not an optimist, right? Just feel good about things. I mean, it's less stress and stuff, which I've got some of that down here, but if you're less stressed out, you're just going to live a better life. Relationships. You're going to have better relationships. You want to be around people who are just in a better mood all the time. Not all the time. I don't mean literally, but you know, a person who's in a better mood is just a better person to be around versus someone who's like always kind of rude or sarcastic or just overall negative, right? Here's help, as in help me. I've done this before. Not actually. An optimist is more likely to ask for help uh, if they need it, if they're going through something, if they need something, math class, depression, they're going to ask for help more likely. Fair. Like I said with the relationships, when somebody is, more kind or whatever, you're going to want to be around that person versus somebody who's just rude all the time or inconsiderate or whatever. Being an optimistic person just kind of goes hand in hand. You share a good feeling if you're in a good feeling, right? If you are already like a decent person, like you might be completely evil, scam somebody, you're feeling good, they're not feeling good. If you're going to do good things, if you're going to have a good attitude, other people, whether they were in a bad attitude, that could get them out of a bad attitude, is you being in a good attitude. Believe it or not, optimists usually have a better personality or like more uh, better personality traits, more personable, outgoing, definitely, obviously, maybe extroverted, so they're what I just said, outgoing and whatnot. Good stuff. Maybe better life skills, a better life satisfaction. Like if you're positive all the time, maybe you're less phased by mediocre to like bad things or whatever. Like getting caught in traffic. I don't usually have an issue with it. One time I got stuck in Chicago. 22 miles, I-90 to Indiana or something. Or what was it? I don't remember exactly what the town is, but it's right next to Chicago. So look on a map. You can figure out what I'm talking about. It's right over the border. It took me 2 hours. 20-minute drive. I saw like a really nice Rolls Royce. It was like a Jeep shape and it was like dark purple. Very cool. But it wasn't worth a 2 hour trip through it's a good looking city. Never mind. Never mind. Perfectly fine place. I accidentally got off on the wrong exit though, so that made it worse. That was a very bad thing. Resilience will go up if you're an optimist. Typically, again, if you are not someone who fights to be like other people, a lot of these things you might fall into if you are aiming to be an optimist, which is not a bad thing. Though, that being said, here are some cons, right? Cons. Decision making. If you're always optimistic, you're bound to make it like an irresponsible decision, right? Financial things, this thing's on the news, the stock's gotta go up, right? It's getting popular. But you fail to acknowledge that their last five products have been just falling off, things are already gonna go down. Business, gone, right? Bad financial decision, unless you're buying options and you like did that, you betted on it going down. But that brings us to the next one. It's businesses. You're always optimistic. If you're driven, business is bound to do good, right? No, wrong, right? If you open up a bank in a city with, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, any of the other ones, chances are your bank might just fail, right? Because there's already so many banks. Market is just overflowing with these beautiful banks, such as Chase Bank. Not Wells Fargo, forget about them. And then the third one is just serious decisions. You might overlook what is the reality of things, and you might just be like, it's going to turn out for the better, right? My grandma, very unhealthy woman. She made it through too much. She lived too long. And this had been happening to the point where she had a few strokes. She was 73. She went to the hospital, not just the one here in my town where she lived. She went almost an hour away. And somehow, because of all this, I was almost convinced she was somehow going to pull through. Until the very night where we pulled the plug, right? Because she was not going to survive. She would have been in a coma, medically induced, until her body gave out. So we did it. But I was convinced. I like she just made it through too much. She had whole sticks of butter for dinner, like stuff like that. Wild, wild. Um, yeah, but like I don't know, too optimistic about things sometimes. Expectations killed. It was really sad to see my grandma die. That she died like in front of me, right? Very sad. It's how it happens. Very disappointing. It's because I was there that she lived, or that she did decide to crash, right? I think it's because I was there. Because for the rest of the things, I was around, but I wasn't with her too much. But I was seeing her every week. I lived 25 minutes away at the time. I'd take her to lunch. So she decided to die. Behaviors. Next thing, right? Behaviors. Kind. That's a good behavior. But that's not what I'm talking about. Because that's not really like a con. That's not a bad thing. What could I be talking about? What's that second word? You can't really read it unless you zoom in. It says addiction. You can be too optimistic about things. Smoke a cigarette. It's a one-time thing. You're trying to have a good night. Spend 10 years and you're pack a day smoker, right? You don't want to do that. Then I have misdiagnoses. What I mean by that is, and basically, you might, you have a stomach like cramp. You got issues down here, gassy maybe. You might think I have a stomach ache. I ate something bad, food poisoning. I'm a little nauseous. Nope, nope. You have cancer and you have 4 days left to live, right? But you ignored it. You ignored the cancer because you thought you had a bad egg. You've been eating 3 eggs a day after the gym. And then you die because you thought you had a bad egg. No, you were the bad egg. You, goodness, you are the bad egg for ignoring your issues, right? Extra tired recently, harder to get out of bed. Bad sleep? No. No. Chronic depression. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the truth of it. That's how it goes. Uh but yeah, cons, pros. Optimist, not a bad guy. maybe some bad decision making, extra disappointment when bad things happen, but it happens like that. Just how you know. Let's move on to the next thing. Hello, friends. It's been a while. I didn't want to edit the video because I got sick. I think I got COVID. And so, I'm in a different outfit. It is about the same time of day. As you can't see, it's nighttime. I have my blinds closed. But I'm back and I'm here to finish. The only reason I'm actually recording this now is because I let my mic die. And now I have it on my head because I think it sounds barely more clear, but it's not permanent. Might never do it again. Just kind of to assure myself that I'm not forgetting it and that this is actually on. And with this thing plugged into my phone, it doesn't record audio at all. So I just have like so much time of soundless audio. But, this isn't why you're watching. Pessimism, the best one of them all. And I can tell you why. And that is because a pessimist has a negative view on their own life, negative outlooks on things, just how it is, right? So, obviously, like everything, uh, there's the pros and the cons, obviously. And so, for the first one, I'm gonna read you my second bullet point, which is safety nets. What that means is that pessimist, historically, statistically, however you want to word it, is less likely to take more risks because, or maybe not that's the word, but it's like, like iffy risks, like getting a new friend or something, because these things can and will fail. Uh, you know, so a pessimist is very careful potentially about certain things, right? And for the things that slip through this net, you meet this person, have a good conversation, and you decide, you know, let's keep talking. I want this person to stick around a little bit. That is where the first bullet point, prepped, comes in because for potential heartbreak or what's the word? Potential life toughness. Heartbreak can be a word, but generally just like a tough thing, just tough things. They can be more prepped because negative thinkers might have already thought about the negative thing. So, this new friend that you met, 2 months later you stop talking, and it's for something stupid. It's not just because you guys kind of just like stopped talking or got busy with your lives. You're just kind of, you did something stupid, they did something stupid. And then instead of a resolution, there's no problem at all. Never was, right? Because it was, you walked away. The the pessimist and the person B. Now, appreciation, on the other hand, that is the third bullet point. Appreciation I have written down here because as a negative thinker, someone who does not expect great things will appreciate a great thing even more than someone who appreciates a great thing because it's like a surprise or whatever. And therefore that like you get to work, your hair is down, really bothers you, a warm day, you got that moist stuff down there. That's not fun. Nobody really likes that. You know, I got very thick hair. When I go to bed, I literally just lift it all up and then I throw it over my pillow so that like I'm a I'm like a person again, with like a neck. I like that stuff to breathe. right? So I don't know. I went to work and I was really struggling with that. I'm not gonna walk around with my hair like held up like I have a hair tie. I got like three of them right here, and just being straight up. Like here's two, and then I'm not gonna grab it, but it's in like the far back corner of this part of my desk. Uh, if I'm going through and I'm struggling, I'm complaining about it, and then someone gives me one. I didn't ask. I didn't expect it. I just kind of expected to suffer, hence the complaining. I mean, I'm gonna appreciate that, That's gonna be a very good thing. I mean, that changed the outlook of my day because my neck can breathe. I can put my thing into a bun. Last but not least, for the pro, we have health, which is funny, because health was actually a benefit of the last one. So what could I possibly mean? Which is certainly not what I meant the first time. Health, I think a pessimist statistically will take more of a precaution into the regular things, such as like washing your hand and like other kind of coping strategies that work for them. Like they get better at it than maybe someone who doesn't expect things, such as an optimist, to be or whatever. Like, I didn't even touch my wee wee, so why would I wash my hands? I just kind of free peed into the toilet. It did hit the toilet seat, but I didn't poo poo. I should have picked up the seat. I didn't. I didn't touch it. I'm not gonna wash my hands. I still got the bacteria. Maybe not of pee pee or wee wee bacteria, but of everything that I touched before. You know, since the last time I washed my hands, you know, shame on you people for not washing your hands. Doesn't need to be 20 seconds. It should be like, but at least some soap and water. Like, I don't know, man, count to 10 and then work your way up. First week 10, second week 12, and soon you'll be like a functioning person. But obviously, with some good, there's got to be bad. Let's get on to the cons. I have Angs and depth. That actually looks like Ang depth. Uh, Obviously, I think this goes without being said, but someone who has like poor outlook on life is going to be more susceptible to anxiety and depression. Should I explain? And realism is the and realism